Welcome back, blade fans. This old sword is here, and I've got a different kind of video for you today. Well, a different kind of collection video. Going by the type of blade, and we're going to call these Talon blades. You could call them claw blades. You could call this one on the top a karambit, a folding karambit. I tried to stay away from karambits because the claw blade's going to be kind of a gently arching hook to the blade, not an extreme 90-degree turn like we have on some karambits. So even though this has got a ring, for today, we're calling it a Talon knife, folding Talon. So we've got 5 of them here from 5 different manufacturers, and pretty diverse. So I'm actually going to start with the one on the top. This is from CMB Knives, and it's a front flipper, and it's called the Falcon. CMB Falcon. It is from AUS 10, pretty good steel, kind of an improvement over the AUS 8 that's been widely used by Cold Steel and whoever else. Considered a budget steel, and AUS 10 is still considered a budget steel. There's AUS 10 and AUS 10A. It's a very comfortable knife to hold this way. Now, let's back out just a little bit so I got some room to show you. Yes, this one has a ring. It's got what would be a deep carry clip, except the ring is going to stick out, and it is switchable to the left side for you lefties. Holds very nicely, actually, in a karambit position. But again, my focus today is going to be on holding them this way. You can reverse any one of these and hold it with the point down edge forward, but I'm going to go point up edge forward on these. And comes through quite nice and sharp with a very high grind. Nice jimping here. It's actually effective. It's not smoothed over. And if you want to lay your whole thumb there, you can, or you can choke back a little bit. So it's one of those knives that even though it's got a ring, you can hold it without putting your pinky in the ring, but you can also hold it that way. I find it difficult to get the pinky in there quickly should you need this knife for something other than utility. But it makes a great utility knife, very much like the old carpet knife of years ago and still present, that has a pronounced hook to it and a big old round wooden handle. I've got one of those nearby. I'm not going to bother bringing it out, though. I think you may know what it is. Got an interesting little feature here on this one, kind of a cutout, kind of a bite out of the top of the blade. But a very pronounced talon, so it's great for that gashing, cutting action even on this shorter blade. And I'm not going to measure each of these up, but now that I said that, I'll give you a quick idea of, yeah, about 2 3/4. And you can find each of these out with their own independent review. So I'm going to leave these open, put it out there, and I will leave you links as to where you can get these if they're still available. Now, having said that, here is the TwoSun TS74. Was one of the earliest front flippers that I recall, and it's kind of a nub. Here, you can get it, but I actually prefer to use that little nub of a back flipper, which works very well. Now, this is a long claw knife with just a very gradual curve to it, but still very, very effective in that gashing kind of clawing movement, but a very broad grind there, and pretty useful, actually. A longer handle than the rest, no ring on this one, very slender handle. And this TwoSun is designed by Night Morning. That's his logo. It's D2, nothing fancy. I've had this knife, I think, at least 4 years. It was one of the earliest TwoSuns I've had, maybe 5 years. I don't know, however long I've been collecting TwoSuns. Kind of got into them strong and heavy there for a while, buying them off of eBay. I no longer get them off eBay. I guess some you can if they're not available anywhere else, but sooner or later White Mountain ends up with them. So I just get them from there. It's a lot easier getting them shipped from New Hampshire, US, instead of on the boat from China, taking up to 4 or 5 weeks in some cases. That may be quicker now. It's got a little bit of a nail nick there. I guess, that can be used to open it. Whether or not I guess it can be used to flick it if you get enough energy going there. Not a very strong detent on it, so it's easy to do that. It's easy to perhaps even shake it. Yeah, you can shake it out. And pretty effective jimping, maybe a little bit smooth. Backspacer, kind of your traditional liner lock setup, but an interesting knife nonetheless, and probably no longer made, but they have been reviving some of their knives. I'm going to go around here now to the Concept. This is the Concept KTC3. It is designed by Koch Tools. That's K-O-C-H. And there's their logo right there. It is from, what is it from? Is it going to tell me? Oh, 154 CM. Pretty decent. A blackened blade. Yeah, I went with the orange handle. Somehow I don't often get the bright handle colors, but I did this time. And just enough with me for 4 fingers. Very abbreviated handle. Pretty good jimping right there. Again, Talon style blade with an interesting compound grind here, but although they go in a little deeper there and maybe the edge is a little finer, I think it's mostly for effect because you don't really see much of a transition there. Again, this one is a little more blunt in there. This is a little bit steeper, or more shallow rather, flat grind. We've got a double fuller, which is kind of crazy. And with enough energy again, and a little wrist flick, you can open it with that if you want to, if you must. If you must fidget with it. And I said we do a quick blade check. First I said no. It's a 3-inch blade. And going back to the TS74, it is almost a 4-inch blade. Yeah, I'm off camera. It's about 3 3/4-inch blade on the TS74. So interesting, I would say of all of them, this is probably one of the better working knife if you need that shaped blade. Now we're going to go to the Gara by Beyond EDC. This is only a fuller opening blade. No front flipper, no back flipper. This is a Dirk Pinkerton design. Let's try that again. You got a nice edge, although it's not real deep on that fuller. You've got a nice edge there, which is what you need in order to pick it up. As I say, the Gara, which is Spanish for claw. And there's Dirk Pinkerton's moniker right there. And this one is from, if I can get out my magnifying glass, VG10. So another pretty decent steel, VG10. You see it on a lot of the Japanese knives, I believe, that were coming out of Spyderco long ago, maybe still. Deep carry clip. This is a very effective EDC and combat, close quarter, last thing you got in your pocket, gash away. Liner lock, nice relief there for the liner, and a slotted screw, making it fairly easy to adjust, maybe with a dime, maybe a dime's too thick actually. So you might need, your fingernail or a screwdriver or something like that. Nice handle, can be used karambit style, edge forward, point down, right? Without the ring, obviously. Nice, effective jimping, really effective jimping, both on the frame and on the blade. Love it. This one's got a kind of a gray micarta handle. And one of my favorite small knives. Dirk has turned out a lot of smaller knives. Blade on this one is about 3 1/8, a little over 3 inches. If you haven't picked one of these up, I suggest that, for like, I think 50, 60 bucks at the most. Nice budgety knife, VG10 steel. Flat grind, about 60% up. And beautiful action on bearings. Just really, really nice. You can middle finger flick it. You can thumb roll it out. You can thumb flick it out, whatever your desire. So it is a fidgety knife for a Talon style unusual blade. Here's perhaps the most unusual of the bunch, and tiny. Look at that. That's the Strelitz, designed by Ostap Hell for Civivi, I believe. And I find that flipper to be a little tough to do sometimes. Bestech. Sorry, Bestech. Did a review on this not that long ago because I had the original Damascus version with the titanium handle, more their upscale one. Then this came out in, what did it come out in? 14C. And I said, that'd make a much better EDC knife. You don't have to worry about, scarring up the titanium or Damascus. You can kind of beat it around. Somebody said, oh, it's ridiculous for defensive work. I think it's perfect for defensive work. It is tiny. I give you that. It is very small, right? But you can open it, dragging it on the pants pocket, so it waves open, turns 90 degrees from the closed position. Then once you lock it between these two fingers and make a fist, it's a push dagger and it ain't coming out. It just ain't coming out, even if you open your hand like that, it ain't coming out. So without a ring, which a lot of people have lately been poo-hooing on the karambits, you've got a neat little, how long is the blade on this? Like sub 2 inches. Yeah, it's like barely 1.5 inches. But it is a razor and it is extremely pointy. You can punch with that. So if you can make a fist and punch, then you've got a sharpened punch. If you can swing your fist like that and just go after anything in your vicinity, it's going to gash and cut. It's an effective little knife. There you have them. That's the Talon group today, the folding Talons. And again, the CMB Falcon, the KTC3 from Concept, the Gara from Beyond EDC, the Strelitz from Bestech, and the TS74 by Night Morning Designs from Tucson. There, I remembered them all. Hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. I'll be back with you real soon with some more content. Take care.